Hi, guys, and welcome to Keep Hope Alive podcast. We are starting season 9, and we have a great guest today here with us. Her name is Kayshaun Brooks, and she is a chronic pain warrior also, but knows a lot about it. And she was a former nurse and she has her own line for Renew Your Body Butters we're going to learn about. But welcome, Kayshaun. I love your name. It's so pretty too.
Thank you
So,
so much.
um,
Thank you for
I,
having me.
oh, you are so welcome. So, before I start any of my shows, it's a very common thing I always ask. How many weddings have you been to in the past 15 years?
Oh, wow. I would say maybe 2 or 3 in the last 15 years.
Okay. And usually when you go into the ceremony part, you walk in, you see everything, and there's always something there for somebody to do and fill out. What is that thing called?
Is that it's not registry, but it's similar to that where they sign in like a guest registry, I think that's what it's called.
Yes. Guest
Yes.
book, guest registry. I had one guy the other day, he answered it, signing your life away. I go, that too. Like whatever you want to call it, but it is the guest
Right.
book. So one of our sponsors here at Keep Hope Alive podcast is lifeonrecord.com. And what they have made is a vintage rotary phone to take the place of that guest book. So your guests will come in, pick up the phone. They can leave a 1 minute, 5 minute, 30-minute message. Please do not do 30 minutes. But just in case, when they're saying their congratulations, they do have a QR code right next to it. So people can take out their own mobile devices, scan it. They can leave a message either before or after the wedding. Please don't do it during. And then after all those messages are collected, they will get burned on a 10-inch vinyl record, or they will be put in this little box if you like to prefer. And I think that is the best gift ever. Hearing voices. I don't know if that sounds bad. Hearing voices, great. Yeah. With your friends and loved
No,
ones.
that's
I
amazing.
bring
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, so when you're sitting back on your 1 year anniversary, having that cake topper and stuff, you can hit play or put the record on and hear all your
Yes.
friends and family talking to you. So their plans only start at $99 and you get that phone number for 1 year, which is nice. So I tell everybody before their year anniversary, call back that number and leave them a happy anniversary message too. So, but as I said, lifeonrecord.com is our biggest sponsor. They give us a number here for Keep Hope Alive too, which is 833-780. Oh my gosh, I'm still getting keep forgetting my number. You know what? I'm gonna get back. I know I wrote it down. Yeah, 833-780 HOPE. See, I don't know if it's drinking iced tea today or what. I'm just getting old. But anyways, you can call that number if you have a question for Kayshaun. She'll be able to answer that right away for you. So we'll bring her back on the show and do a
Yes.
fun question and relay thing. So that would be a lot of fun. But other than that, let's dive right in and find out who is Kayshaun. How'd you get started? Tell us about you. Tell us something nobody knows about you yet.
Oh, wow. What no one knows about me yet.
It's a good question. What's
That
a fun
is a
fact?
very a fun fact that no one really knows about me, I would say, is that I'm a vocalist. A lot of people do not know that about me, but I am.
Yay,
So
we
that's a
pulled
little
it
fun
out.
fact. Yes.
That's awesome. So, what do you like to sing?
I like to sing gospel, R&B, jazz music. That's kind of my range of area, but I do like a little bit of everything though.
I go to karaoke, so I have that vocal intake. It's like my
Okay,
healing.
okay, yes.
But I'm like, sweet child of mine. And I'm such an 80s girl, so but I'm an old soul too because it's like Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin, and
Yes.
I kind of listen to what my dad and mom grew up, the doo-wop
I did
stuff, you
too.
know?
Yes, a lot of
Yeah.
the doo-wop stuff, yes.
So when I go out there, I like to hear all different kinds of music. It's more about the lyrics and hearing the
Mhm.
emotion behind the lyrics, if there's pain,
Yes,
if there's joy, if there's faith. And I mean, that kind of ties in here.
it
So,
does.
what we are doing with. So, you became a nurse. What made you decide to become a nurse?
Well, you know what? Actually, I come from a family full of nurses and others working in the medical field. So it's just something that always have been a part of me. You know, my mom, my grandmother, I have a cousin. You know, there's been EMTs. You know, so I'm used to being around medicine. And technically, I would say too, it was my plan B. So I always wanted to be a doctor. That was my initial goal. But life got in the way, you know, started having kids, got married, and I was just like, this is going to take forever, you know. So I said nursing is what it's going to be. So I did that. I worked in the medical field for 20 years, and but
Okay.
simultaneously at the same time, which is something else I did get from my mom and grandmother, was I started learning about the holistic health around that same time as medicine piqued my interest. So for the same amount of time, I've been, you know, just really into medicine, really into holistic health. But yes, it's been like a family thing of working in the medical field, and just falling in love with taking care and helping, and just, you know, having that authentic passion to want others to be better and do better.
Exactly. That is very important. And thanks to all our doctors out there who
Right.
try very hard to help us
Hmm.
out. Some patients, hey, we can be complicated, but we have
Right, right.
I gotta say, I love all my doctors sometimes. I'm
Right,
just
that's
like,
the right
I get
word,
burnt.
sometimes.
I think they say that about their patients too, but and the one thing, you're a chronic pain warrior just like I am. So it seems like the same amount of time. I mean, I even think for me, it might have came a lot earlier in life, growing up and having leg pain and sleeping. Maybe that was like an indication but what was to come for later years, but it was really like over 2002 and going through what they were calling fibromyalgia and myofascial pain. And
Right.
oh, the famous, we don't know what's wrong with her. So then a question mark for ages too. So, but here I am back again. I'm still a question mark, guys. Can we just
Which
learn to laugh about it? I mean, I love my pain doctor. I really do. And I said one day there was going to be a podcast, and I'm going to make this today. But I had got diagnosed with something called neuralgia paresthesia. I can't feel my
mm,
left leg. Do I choose to walk on it and still try to have the most normal life? Yes, I'm a fighter. I'm a warrior. Did I need help? Yes. They put a stimulator in my back and I'm charged by an app and a battery.
oh,
I feel like a
wow,
robot.
okay.
But, it's just one of those things, learning through chronic pain, and everybody has a different journey. But I am here, anybody going through chronic pain, I want to talk to you. I want to hear from you guys too. We all do because we all have stories and we have our journeys and how to overcome it and what has worked for you. So I want to hear from you from being a nurse and learning all this holistic stuff and
Mhm.
the trauma part of it too. I want to know more. So girl, the floor is yours. I promise I'll zip it.
Okay, okay, so where do I start at? Well, you said earlier, we do have a lot of similarities.
Mhm.
This for me, just to be able to get to the root of some things, it took a while. It took over 20 years to get a diagnosis. And that's something too, that I want people to understand. It's okay to look for a diagnosis. It can take time. It's not necessarily 1 year, 5 years, 10 years. I mean, look at us. It was decades before getting an answer. And then understand that doctors don't know everything. They
Yeah.
don't. They're
Yep.
practicing medicine. They are not gods. They are practicing, and our medical knowledge has only gone so far, so we only can do so much. But with me, it took over 20 years for me to finally get diagnosed, which is my latest diagnosis is stage 4 endometriosis. And it's a very rare form. I happen like, okay, it takes 20 years to get a diagnosis. And then now I gotta have the rarest form, that only 4% of the population have. So with mine's, not only does the tissue grow outside of my uterus, it has attached itself to my other organs. And so it's causing damage to those organs, because organs aren't supposed to have any additional tissue, growing through them. But it took, over 20 years to get it because of other health issues, which is very explainable. But,
Mhm.
and then also, before I got this diagnosis in 2018, I got severely injured at a prison that I was working at. This is what took me out of my medical career, was getting severely injured. I was left crushing to death between two electronic gates. And so to hear you mention about the myofascial, not only do I have my organs connected together, but I also got crushed by this gate, and I was left there. The officers left their post, and I'm like, okay, I'm getting ready to die if I don't get out of this gate, because it's designed to close and shut. It doesn't matter if metal or car, it doesn't matter. So my flesh wasn't going to be do nothing to stop this gate. But I had to do some damage to my body to get out of that situation. I tell people on movies, you see a criminal dislocate their fingers to get out of the cuffs. That's what I had to do to my back to get out of this gate. And as I was pulling myself out, I was still being crushed. So I get, I lose loss of function on the left side of my body. So we have a lot
We do have a
similarities,
lot in common, but my goodness gracious.
and
Oh my
that's just
gosh,
the
it does sound like a movie. Oh my
it does. That's just the latest stuff, but I have grown to learn that it had to be me to go through this, because now I get to come on a platform like yours, or the
Yep.
book that I'm releasing, to be able to help
Yes.
others, when trying to stand up and advocate for themselves and the pain that they go through, because it's a lot of trauma that you go through being a chronic pain and chronic illness warrior. Because not only do you have to fight with these doctors, to believe you, you might have to
Yep.
go through countless doctors, you know,
Yeah.
or just even your family, parents. Everybody gets tired of you being sick. One of my famous words I used to hear from people close to me: I'm sick of you being sick. And it's like, well, I'm the one sick. I You can't be
Yep.
sicker than me, you know, sick of this. But you still the midst of that. Like, can you imagine keep hope alive? Because you really need to keep hope alive to walk in this battle as a warrior of chronic pain. Like for me, when the injury happened in 2018, and then I'm like, oh my God, I'm bedridden. They don't know what's wrong with me. But at the same time, let me back up a little bit. When I got crushed by the gate and knew I wasn't going to work anymore that following year, I was like, what am I going to do? Because I'm physically challenged. Sorry, my dog is starting to bark,
No, it's
but
all
I'm
right.
physically challenged. Okay, what am I going to do? All I have is these products, which I had been customizing skincare products for the past decade for others. That's that holistic side of me that had never left. And so I'm a very spiritual person. So I do a lot of references to God. And I was just like, okay, God, what am I going to do? I've known the medical field for 20 years. All I
Yeah.
have is these products. And it just so happened I started my business that same year, not knowing this was going to be my full time income. But that Keep Hope Alive, oh my gosh, that just hits home so much because when I was like in the midst of my depression, like, what am I going to do? How am I going to do it? I was just used to doing vendor events, didn't know nothing about being online, but I had to walk in faith. I had to walk in hope, as in, okay, I'm laying here in this bed. I can't move. My kids, homeschool for 3 years so that they can take care of me. And it was nothing but that hope and that faith that kept me going. Like, people are shocked when they hear me say from the bedridden, when they was, didn't know it was the endometriosis. They had just found some tumors and thought I had cancer. I couldn't even get surgery because of the pandemic, because of COVID, but I still kept moving forward in this company because it was all that I had to support myself and my kids. It was all that I could physically do. And to be able to tell the next chronic pain warrior, the chronic illness warrior, you can make it. You can do anything. That we are some of the most phenomenal human beings on this planet because
Yeah.
we it's like we don't have regular everyday issues. We look at other people and be like, man, if that's all I had to deal with, I would be so much further in life. But we are phenomenal human beings to be able to encourage and push and motivate others, because this is not an easy life. This is not an easy walk at all. There's been plenty of times I wanted to give up and didn't want to do it, but because I didn't have no choice, I just had to walk in faith and keep, moving forward. Like, I'm gonna tell you something today that I just learned, and I was just and it's dealing with my health. And these are the type of challenges you go through as
Yeah.
a chronic pain and chronic illness warrior. I have to change doctors again after I've been with the medical team for a year, who was on my we was working together. I mean, it's really hard to get doctors that want to see things and do them your way and don't want to butcher you and everything and having all
Yeah.
these side effects. But I just learned literally a couple of hours ago, literally 2 hours ago, that I won't be with that hospital anymore with those team of doctors. And it's like, okay, now I got to start all over again,
Don't you
and,
hate
and it,
that? I hate that.
I hate it.
Last year's diagnosis, I mean, I gotta make it funny. I mean, I really, really do. And I don't know. I feel like one day I'll share this with the world because nobody can figure it out. And you know what? I feel comfortable. Let's share it. Maybe somebody will have an answer. Maybe they have the same thing. But changing doctors. So, I had to see this new doctor this year. Well, tell me about all your surgeries, all about your medications, da 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 da. And I was like, okay, well, A, B,
Mhm.
C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. And then boom, I had this one magical surgery. And I have to say this because I don't understand and nobody understands and nobody can help me right now. So I'm going to tell my health issue. And it's going to take a lot of energy out of me, but that's fine. And I gotta laugh about it too. So back in 2014, I had a total hysterectomy. Ovaries out, everything is gone. Just recently, well, last year it happened too. I had been in the hospital. They come back, congratulations. I'm like, on what? And they're like, you're
Right.
pregnant. I'm like, no, I'm not.
Like what?
So I I I forgot the doctor's name, and thank God, because I had to look for a specialist. They didn't know where to send me, so I tried an oncology gynecologist doctor, and I showed him the
Mhm.
records. He goes, I don't know. This doesn't make sense. And I go, okay. He goes, I can't help you. And I go, okay. He goes, but I can tell you your blood is like a cow, chicken, and horse. And I remember I looked at all his awards on the wall. I go, did you win all these? And he goes, yeah. I go, and you're comparing me to a farm animal? It's
Right?
just like, yeah, I was like, I know in life I've been through so much in life, but I just could not fathom it. And so I thought maybe all that went away. Nope. This year, same thing. New doctor is like, no, this is a problem. So I re-stepped, went back to my neurologist and the person who did that. No, it can't be happening. And they made me redraw my blood, and the same level came out. And
Mhm.
the lady who drew my blood, this is priceless. I'm going to share this because you're a nurse. I walk in there. And usually, if I say anything, it says, I'm a hard stick. But she's like, oh, come on back. Don't say anything. And I'm like, oh, crap. Is she going to stick me and I'm going to bleed everywhere or something? I was like, okay, we
Yeah.
got this. I stayed quiet. She got me on the first try. I'm like, oh, thank God. And she goes, I'm so excited for you. I read your bottles.
What?
She goes, you wanted to tell me something. I go, yeah. I have no ovaries and a full hysterectomy. And she goes, Mary? That's all she said was Mary. I was like,
What?
but a hospital, my doctor's trying to refer, there's code for what you have. So they never called back. But you talk about going through chronic pain, and then you have this weird scare that nobody can find out about you.
Right.
I love sharing stuff on podcasts. World, help me here because
Yeah.
I don't know what to think of it. Am I too special? Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I don't know.
It's easier to say don't worry about it, but it still makes you wonder like, okay, but what is causing this
Yeah. I mean,
dysfunction in these labs, you know?
yeah. It's like all of a sudden I really have become my own advocate. And I have to now. Like, what is going on with me? If nobody else can figure it out. Well,
Right.
last year, my old job, we were just like, did you get a pregnancy? And I did, but it's a negative, but it's just the blood work. It's the weirdest thing. It's like, yeah, I'm having imaginary baby symptoms. And then I
Right.
find out this year I'm going to be a grandma. My daughter's pregnant. And I go, oh,
Oh,
of course.
a real congratulations.
Yeah, so I will be a Gigi in August. I'm so excited. But
Yes.
it's just, when it's natural stuff and doctors really don't know, that is a real thing, guys. It really is. And it's frustrating, I think, on them too, you know.
It
Um,
is frustrating. It is frustrating on them. And then I'm really glad you said about you have to be your own advocate
yeah,
because
you
that's
do.
what it comes down to is you know your pain, you know your body, you're the one experienced this, not your spouse, not your parents, kids, your doctor. You have to speak up. But what I do look at when I do have to switch providers is the lesson that I'm learning. I always
Yes.
learn something. So I don't even, when I go to different doctors, I don't even come off the back and tell them that I have 20 years in the medical field because then they change their behavior when they know someone can dissect everything that they do. So I kind of just, you know, let them do what they do when they pull it out of me, I let them know. But before I found the doctor to remove my tumors, because like I told you, the doctors, they thought, oh, she has fibroids, she has an enlarged uterus, this is her pain. So I literally, in the middle of the pandemic, this is why I was bedridden for so long. I had a doctor refuse to remove the tumors if I didn't agree to a hysterectomy. And I'm all like, I don't care that my tubes are tied, cut, and burnt. If you can't give me a medical reason that I need to lose my uterus and go through all of the issues of not having one, I'm not going to do this. And he flat out refused. I'm like, I could have cancer here. I'm here for you to remove the tumors, but you want to take an extra organ out. And I refused to do that. And so I had to find
Yeah.
another doctor, but I did learn something from him, was that I wanted the surgery to be laparoscopic. And I forgot, it was something else. So when I went moving towards the next doctor, I was like, okay, this is what I want. This is how I want it done, because I learned that from them. But this doctor, he really respected my core values and everything. And he was
Good.
like, you know, I'm going to do you a favor. When we take these tumors out, we're going to do exploratory surgery. He was like, I believe you. And he was like, let's finally get down to the bottom of it and see what's going on with you. And Lord and behold, when he woke me up, he was like, you are so lucky you refused that doctor's surgery, because he said you can't have a hysterectomy. This is how we found out there's a plate of scar tissue connecting all of my organs. He was like, this will be a high risk surgery for you. We would have to have all these specialists to these organs around, because we don't even know what's going to happen once we remove all of these adhesions. And so it just made me really feel good that I advocated and stood up for myself. Yes, I had to go through a lot more pain. Yes, I was bedridden for over a year, but I probably wouldn't be here if I would have let that doctor bully me. So, advocating for
Exactly.
yourself, it stops that bulliness, because they could be causing more harm, even though they think they're helping you, but more harm could have come from that. So advocating for yourself is number one.
Yeah, and go with your gut. If you know there's something wrong, it's your body. There is
Hmm.
something wrong. I've had a doctor tell me, I mean, I had a procedure done in my back by one doctor, but I had so much bad pain. And I went to a family doctor, and that I only seen once or twice, was new. But she goes, we need to talk. It's all in your head. I go, no, the pain is real. I feel it. No, it's all in your head. You need to go get help. Mother junker. And I have to say it that way.
Right.
She made me cry. I did report her, and I guess it wasn't her first one, but I remember going to a CBD shop, just anything. Like I was
Yeah.
desperate to get rid of the pain, and they're like, "There's this chiropractor. You gotta go farther out, but let them do the X-ray because these other doctors really don't know what they're doing." So I did, and that doctor was looking at it, and she got a pencil and circled, "Go take this to a back surgeon right away." And I was like, "What?" And she goes, "That's all I can say." And I went into now my back surgeon, and they were trying to say, "Oh, yeah, we don't have appointments." Da, da, da. I go, "Well, I have this x-ray." And they're like, "Can you come in tomorrow?" I go, "Yes." The doctor had done it wrong, the procedure, the other one.
What?
So in between my disc, it was like nothing, and it was bone rubbing on bone, and I had to
Oh,
be corrected right away. But to the doctor who told me I was crazy in the head for that pain,
right.
oh my gosh, go work somewhere else. Just-
But you know what? Through this journey of being the holistic trauma warrior, I've learned, I do a lot of studying and researching, but doctors, do you know, in their medical training, they only get like 2 to 4 weeks of learning about pain.
That's
So
it.
that's it. You would think they get a whole year, a whole semester. something, but it's literally 2 weeks, depending on the program. 2 to 4 weeks is all they get about pain. And I'm all like, no wonder they don't believe us. No wonder a lot of them lack compassion, is because they lack the knowledge and the experience. Like the hospital that I was just dealing with, when I was speaking with my primary, because I was trying to get, when you meet your first visits, and I'm like, okay, I'm new here. This is what I want to do. And I told him that I was like, I want to meet with a pelvic floor therapist because I don't want surgery, because the adhesions can come right back. Plus, it's a high risk surgery for me. And I was like, I want to meet with a pelvic floor therapist. He didn't even know what that was. My
It
primary
doesn't
doctor,
surprise me.
and it's like, because he was like, no, you just need to have surgery, get it cut out. And I'm all like, no, through my research and knowledge over the past few years, I know you can handle this holistically. And at least I want to go this route, you know,
Yeah,
so I can exhaust all my other options. And I was like, you do have a department. And I was like, you know what? Don't worry about it. I'm going to just go to my OBGYN. She'll know who to refer me to. But they
yeah,
don't know. They don't know, and you have to educate them. But just, those of you listening to this podcast, know that the person who you're speaking to about your pain, they had less than a month of training.
yeah, I believe
So
that.
what
Yeah,
do they really know? So it's easy for them to say, oh, it's in your head. It's because they don't know. They're trying to figure it out. Or when they come with these diagnoses like fibromyalgia or these chronic illnesses, it's because they can't get to the root cause of it and give an answer. They'd be better off saying, I don't know. We haven't figured it
yeah,
out yet. We still
yeah.
learning, not make
Now,
you think
I
you're
had one
crazy.
good experience. You were talking about hospital. Well, my last two, one of them, I can't feel anything on my left side. My face feels like I'm a punch. I can't feel my leg, my foot. And I remember going in there the first time, we'll give you Tylenol. And I'm like, seriously? I didn't come to the ER for Tylenol. No, like, no, that you're not going to charge me all this money for Tylenol capsule. Like,
Right?
I'm sorry, it's not happening. But I remember the second time I had to go back, I've been passing kidney stones. It's something my doctor did wrong. I'm going to have the rest of my life. But
Oh no.
um, yeah, that's a whole nother chronic pain story. But anyways, I remember the guy nurse, he was just giving me my pain medicine. He goes, no, we're gonna try something different. And then he goes, my wife has chronic pain. And right there, that's who I needed. Empathy.
Hmm.
Somebody who loves somebody, who watches on a daily basis of what we
Yes.
have to go through. I was so happy. He was the one giving me the medicine. I just, saying, oh, here's a little something doesn't help us.
Right.
And what I learned over the years, I'm not crying. I'm not bawling. I don't have mascara all over my face. I'm grinding my teeth, but I've learned not to do that because it's not going to help the problem of the pain. What's your pain level?
Right.
It's a 10. It's even a 10 plus, you know? Do
Right.
I still go to work and do stuff on bad days? Yes. It makes me a strong warrior, an employee, a fighter. Do I want to be judged against it? Heck no. I'm as good as everybody else is. I can do my job. I can do it just fine. But the days that kidney stone is coming up and I want to push out like 8 babies, yeah, we got a problem. I'm going to be honest and
Hmm.
tell you, hey, nope, I got to go to the ER because I know there's no medicine here that can help me with
Right.
this pain at this time. And I have to go somewhere to help push. The last time I needed to get a stent, I was admitted right away. So, it's just different things like that. Understand who you are in your body. So, but I'm
Yes,
glad you're
most
going to
definitely.
start writing a book too. So,
Yes, I'm actually I'm 80%, maybe 90% done. I just have my introduction, because what I did,
mhm,
you can't see it in my room, but above my bed, I put
Uh-huh.
all the chapters of the book. You know, like
Oh,
one
okay.
is let me see. If you can't feel my pain, you can never understand me.
Very
Or
good. Yeah.
my pain is real, whether you believe it or not. And I go into, more in depth because people are chronic pain warriors and chronic illness warriors. They are out here committing suicide. They are
I
out
I
here
know.
becoming drug addicts because they can't get the proper help because no one believes them. So let me tell you this, and I have to have empathy on my mom. In 2022, I lost my mom. And my mother, most of my life, she was a habitual drug addict. And, I never thought I would see her clean and sober. The last time I saw her sober, I was like 3 or 4. But thank God, towards the end of her life, the last 3 to 5 years, she finally became clean and sober. But something that I found out was that my mom, part of her addiction was because of side effects from a medication. Because my mom had HIV since I was 15 years old. So that's a whole nother trauma story
Yeah.
of what it's like to grow up in the 90s with your mom affected by HIV and you're like outcasted by the family and neighborhood and everything. But anyway, something that I learned was that the medication she was taking, it was causing her bones to crack. And I'm
Ooh.
like, no wonder it was so hard for her to get off drugs. I'm all like, for years, her bones were cracking. And I'm all like, I would have been a drug addict and a dope fiend as well if my bones are consistently cracking. And every time you go to the doctor, they want to label you as a drug addict and just give you Tylenol when they know they should be giving
Yep.
you morphine. But it didn't hit me until after her death was that even in the midst of all of that, she was still able to get off the drugs. But when you're in severe pain, you're going to do it. Like all the people that talked about her, that criticized her, that
Oh, yeah.
ridiculed her, let me
Yep.
see if you was in the same situation with your bones cracked, cracking, how would you be? I remember this one time, talk about my trauma. I've been having a lot of people ask me about an autobiography where they want to know what I went through growing up in that lifestyle. And I'm actually going to be writing it with my mom because I got a lot of her writings. So we're going to do it together. But it was
Good.
this one time, I think I was maybe like 17 or 18. But anyway, a bus ran over her foot. She was trying to run and catch the bus, and the bus had already started taking off, and she was knocking on it. But long story, the bus ran over her foot, split it wide open. When she went to
Whoa.
the emergency room, she was getting that treatment like, oh, she's just a drug addict. Because they do seek pain meds and stuff, and she was known for that. But she just got ran over by a bus. Okay, quit the, oh, she's just seeking pain meds. Her foot is split open, and come to find out, when they realized that she was a HIV patient, the medication that they were trying to give her, it it neutralized because of the other medication that she's on for the HIV. So they were sitting up here making her feel bad, talking about her, making it seem like she's seeking medication,
Yeah.
when if you would have looked in her chart thoroughly, you would have known the reaction to this medication is not going to work. So they had to give her something else. But it just showed me how people will stigmatize those who are in pain. Either they're lying, they're drug
Yeah.
seeking. But when you're in pain, you're damn near losing your mind, especially when it's all the time and you're being
Yeah.
told it's in your head, or to have faith and that God will heal you. But it's like, okay, I'm having faith that he'll heal me, but until then, my pain is
I
real and
love
you
you,
need
Dad.
to
I love you. My dad tells me that all the time. I go, it's been years. So I'm like, I have the love, I have the faith, I have the hope, I have the joy. I bring that out.
yes.
But, there comes a time when your body is just aching. You learn, and I'm gonna try to start something new. It's when you find self-love, but find the things that were hurting you too and try to analyze those and kind of see if
Mhm.
that works too. Because, you know, I have a friend, he did a podcast. His name's Starbo. He's a clown, but a happiness coach. And he goes, when you laugh, it gives you endorphins and it makes you happy. And it's just the best medicine you can ever have. So I can't picture the ribbon coming out of me, healing me all the time. So I'll get on Reels at night and watch this guy named Tiny Tim. He makes me laugh so much. And then there was another one, mother and daughter one. Oh, I forgot the name of it. But anyways, they make me laugh. And when I'm smiling and happy and can go to bed, that's probably the best. But the one thing nobody in my family will ever understand about chronic pain, I don't know if it happens to you, but I have the worst time going to sleep. I
Oh
feel all the
yeah,
pain.
no sleep. No sleep.
They were like, 5 years ago, we're going to put you on Ambien. Okay. I still take it to this day. It works, but can I write a book? Yes, I can write a book.
Yeah.
Am I learning how to make it better? Yeah, I am. But, I'm able to sleep. I feel like I got my 8 hours, and that's what the body needs is that healthy sleep, and that's what I'm
Yeah.
getting, even though I'm funny as heck. So, but
That
yeah,
that's part of
yeah.
healing
So,
is to let the body rest. The body has to rest.
yes, definitely. Froze up a little bit.
Yeah.
I couldn't hear
But
what you said.
yes. Okay, you no, you were
Can you
just
hear me?
mentioning
Oh, yeah.
about
Okay. Okay.
no, I was saying that the body needs rest to get its sleep. It needs rest to heal. And
And
that's
with
something that I've been struggling with battling this pain and the illness. You don't sleep a lot, can't sleep for long periods of time. But I
Yeah.
find, when you're a chronic pain warrior, you got to have a toolbox of different things that can help you. And I think that's too as why I became successful with my skincare company was because and people would ask, like, how did you build a business while you're bedridden and chronic pain and got these big old tumors that's growing for a year? But being able to help someone else, because when you're dealing with chronic pain, they teach you to visualize and to redirect the pain somewhere else because they're trying to just basically teach you to live with it. But being able to help someone else with their improving their skin or whatever skin issue that they may have, that helped me channel my pain away from me because it was like, okay, I'm not
Yeah.
about me. Now I'm here customizing or making these products to help the next person feel good and feel better about themselves. So that's still that nursing side of me coming out. But
Yay.
being able to help
And
others is what.
you're able to buy the products that you're making, right?
Yes, yes, yes. I make hair, face, and body products. I customize products as well. Like I just had a lady today reach out to me. She's been wanting to start her own skincare line because I do help um entrepreneurs start their own skincare lines. And she wanted to do more work in the doula area. But she just came to me today and was like, hey, my daughter is in gymnastics. Can you help customize something to help with cramps and pain? And I'm all like, I most definitely can. So
Yes.
I'm still helping. It may hurt me a little bit while I'm doing, let me quit lying. It be hurting when I be doing these products and getting these orders and stuff together, but I know I'm doing this out of the goodness of my heart. It's
Yeah.
distracting me from being the oh me, why me,
Yeah.
instead of okay, if I get to help someone else who's been seeking for some type of assistance. But
Yeah, that's good.
yeah.
That's good. I'm going to post your website so everybody can see all this too and how to order and everything. Boy, you're just the source of good information. I keep going
Yes.
back to what you said about the gate, though. Oh my goodness. Oh, and there's got to be
Girl,
lasting
and I'm
effects.
still fighting, it is, and I'm still fighting the work comp case to this day, still fighting it. But yeah, it is lasting effects. I might have to live with this for the rest of my life, but I'm gonna keep, trying to find different tools and
Yeah.
resources that can help me have a better quality of life. You know.
Exactly. And I mean, it's gonna be another journey, just like me.
Hmm.
I told the world just now what I'm going. It's just a different journey. And once I learn,
Yeah.
you know, why this is happening, I want to share it. So, because there might be somebody else. Hey, they're telling me this too, and they can't figure it out. It's like a big question mark all over again. It's
Right.
like
That's
chapter two, chapter three.
right.
Let's bring it on.
Yeah,
So,
that's speaking about what you're going through. I've learned what we go through is not necessarily for us, it's to help others. I had a
yeah,
one of my mentors, maybe the third year of my company. I was really behind the scenes. So I don't know if you had time to look it up, but I have this massive affiliate program. I have over 60 people throughout the United States who
right.
promote my company, Renew You Body Butters, and our products and services. And it started while I was bedridden, because I was in that mindset like I can't believe no
Yeah,
one's here. I'm left alone. I'm raising my kids by myself. They my full-time caregivers. Like, what am I going to do? Like, God, why do you put this in front of me if I can't do anything? Long story short, some strangers approached me and was like, hey, we like you, your brand, your mission, your products. Can we become your affiliates? And I didn't even know what an affiliate was at the time, but one of my mentors like, Kayshaun, you can have the holistic Mary Kay or holistic Avon, but and they was like, and you can't do nothing for yourself anyway. But I kind of had got used to them being the forefront of my company
yeah,
because I was, going through a lot of treatments and everything. But once I started healing, my mentor was like, okay, Kayshaun, I know you got the affiliates and everything, but people want to know the owner. And I'm like, it's ugly behind here. I don't want people seeing me, knowing about different treatments and this, and that. But they like, but if you want to take your business to the next level, you have to. And
yeah,
I started sharing, and then people started reaching out like, hey, I have this problem. Can I try this? Or will this work for me? And I kind of felt guilty for not
yeah,
speaking out sooner because it's like, oh my God, there's so many people out here that I can help that's looking for help. And
yes,
I'm over here in my pity party being silent. But then that's when the Holistic Pain and Trauma Warrior was born. And now,
yeah,
I'm running through 2024, letting everybody know about this transformation and how I can help them, with managing their chronic pain and their skincare as well.
good, good, good. We got lots of more. I gotta bring you on again and just do everything
Yes,
again, girl.
yes.
Like, and yeah, I did read that about you and everything, and I'm gonna put that out there for them to see on the Facebook page and our website and everything, which is going to be really good. So I know we're getting close to time, and I love that you were our guest today. I really do. And you brought this wealth of knowledge into the chronic pain world and opening your eyes and being able to see what's in front of you, what you're going through. I mean, keep a journal out. Like, also,
Mhm.
people, if you're hurting, write it down. I listen to, and I don't listen to other people or podcasts that much, but I started now that I have my own. But there was some seminar, like, but some of my symptoms sound like MS, and I have to be my own advocate and go, is this really what it is? And,
Mhm.
one of the doctors, He said it would have showed in your MRI, but in this seminar, I heard that is a false statement. So, like,
Mhm.
no, I nicely said, no, it doesn't really show up in MRIs, but
Good.
I have all the symptoms still. So,
Right.
I'm going to take this route, do this route, and just kind of let them know. But it's when the patients can do the homework and you always hear, oh, don't read Google and diagnose yourself. Well, sometimes you have to, or listen to another doctor talking
Yes.
as a podcast. The invisible illness. People understand that.
Yes.
Functional doctor. Go find one. I got to find one yet. I feel like I need a PET scan. Who can I get to get that ordered? I just want a diagnosis of everything. What is going on? I'm
Yeah.
paying for health insurance. List it because I don't want it to be a surprise and find out I have cancer later on in life or anything like that,
Right. Yeah.
Nobody does. So but anyways, I wanted to say thank you. I know I got to wrap it up. I also want to thank our other sponsors that make Keep Hope Alive going and very strong. Like we mentioned, we got lifeonrecord.com, who is our interactive guest book. We have bridalshowsinc.com. If you are in the Dallas Fort Worth area planning a wedding or special event, they host about 5 trade shows throughout the year so you can meet the vendors, learn what they do, get pricing and everything, and they're a lot of fun. Some fashion shows, the whole 9 yards. Then we got Miles and Smiles events.com. Deborah Rose, her background, she's a private investigator, but she does handwriting analysts and lipstick readings, and she's accurate. I've seen her at these events. She's amazing. There's times like I'm at the event going, no, I just want to hang out with Deborah. Like it was more fun just to hear people, she was getting it right on everybody. So she's amazing. Check her out. We have Bryce Harney, and it is www.brycemagic.com. He is a magician, a mind mentalist. He is traveling all over the United States right now doing magic shows and his readings and very accurate at that too. So check him out. Then we have richmondpunch.net. He graduated from the Juilliards. He is a violinist. He has performed in front of 1 million people before and had a few TV slots on Lifetime shows playing the violin. But I've seen him in action too, playing, and he's wonderful. So check him out. And our last one would be TK Hair Salon. If you need hair coloring, haircuts for men, women, or children, they do a fabulous job. They're located in Plano, Texas. Check them out. But other than that, thank you so much. And I hope you did have a great new year. We're going into 2024 now. We get to set these new things up. I'm going to be adding you to this store, www.keephopealivepodcast.com. And wherever you find your podcast, you can find us. But other than that, love and light, everybody. Until next time.
Right.
Bye bye.